In this video, I'm going to show you how you can sum the two-dimensional array. So what are the different ways you can sum the two-dimensional array? For example, if you want to sum this is the example of the two-dimensional array that I have provided for you with the initial values, and this is the visualization, okay, of how the array will look like in the this is just the visualization of the how the two-dimensional array will look like. And like for example, if you just want to sum all the elements of the array, okay, you can just create a variable that is called total, okay, and must be initialized with 0. So if you remember how to access the two-dimensional array, you need to have two loops, okay, one is for the row, another one is for the column, okay. And once you have access to the column, okay, no, once you have access to the row and the column, and you can sum it. Total equals to total plus the data of that particular row and column, okay. So with this, you're going to get the total for every element of this, okay. So let's try, and let's say once you have finished with the loop, you output the total. This is what you're going to get, total. Okay, so when you run the code, this is what you're going to get, which is the total is 43. So it will go through row 0 and go to column 1, which is here, okay, and then go add it in the total, okay, and then it will loop to the next column, which is this one, okay, which is this one, and total it, and it will also continue to the next column because it's still in this loop, and it will continue. Once finished for that particular row, it will go to the next row, go to here, okay, and so on. So the total will be added until you are summing all of these elements, okay. So now what you get is the total, which is 43 here. Now let's say this is totaling all the summing all the rows and columns, all the elements. So if you want to sum, for example, just this row, okay, you just want to sum this row, okay, what you need to do is you need to create a variable int row total here. So here you put row total equals to row total plus data row column, okay. Once you finish with this, you can say cout row total is equals to row total, okay. So when you run the program, what will happen is that for this particular row, when it comes to a row, okay, row 0, and it will initialize create a variable row total, initialize it to 0, then it will start to loop the column, all of the column, and every time it loops each column, it will add the total for that particular row, okay. Once it finish, it will display the new line like this and display the row total, which is that particular row total, which is 4 plus 7 plus 9, you get this. And it will go to the next row, which is row 1 here, okay, and it will sum. And first, when it goes to the next row, it will create a row total variable again and initialize to 0, initialize it back to 0, and you add the element of that row one by one until you finish that particular row, and you get the row total of that particular row. So that is how you get for the how to total for the row. And you can do so many other things. You can sum the column by column, but of course you need to change the way you program this. Maybe if you want to sum the column, okay, if you want to sum the column, you need to change this row, this loop, where the loop does not start from row to column, but it starts from column to row. Okay, so there are many other ways. For example, there is totaling the row, every row, totaling all. So what I have demonstrated to you here is totaling all the elements, totaling row by row, and also you can also total column by column, or you can also total the element in the diagonal form. Okay, so there are many ways, but you need to program this properly.